Welcome back, Wolfpack Verlis here, and this is how to use Milotic. Milotic, oh my goodness, that is one tanky Pokemon. 95 on those hit points is going to make it really tough to break down. 125 special defense and 100 on the special attack. This Pokemon's ferocious. Even 79 on the defense really rounds it out and gives it some mixed potential, while giving some decent outspeeds on the 81 against the super slow Pokemon that we have been seeing. If you got, a lot of you guys have gone up against Milotic. It's actually a fairly used Pokemon, and it is frustratingly tanky. That if you don't have a direct physical option or some kind of super effective hit, it's going to be really rough. And remember that super effective hit I was just talking about? It's a pure water type. It's only weak against grass and electric. Not the most common things on the block, and it does get a good amount of resist to some common things like fire, water, and steel, as well as ice. So you can use it to, this is actually a really good Pokemon to have as a backbone to your Dragon-type Pokemon. A lot of people like throwing out ice attacks against dragons. Well, Milotic switches in, laughs a bit, and then really just disrupts your opponent. Hopping in Pokemon Showdown, we're going to see a fairly standard Milotic set. The idea is you want to scald your opponent into oblivion, get them burned, and then just Ice Beam chip them down while recovering and making them have no options. You can throw a Confuse Ray in their face to make it a little more frustrating for them, and then also you have a lot of other things going in your favor. Scald has a 30% chance to burn, so you don't have to fully invest into your defense. So you can put a lot more into your special defense and just kind of tank up those hits, or just become a pure dedicated special defense tank and hope that you don't get totally blown up by a defensive move, get the Scald, and then recover it out from there. Running Leftovers makes it to where you're not going to be taking too much damage, that it does heal up a lot if your opponent isn't directly two-shotting you, which doesn't happen too often. And then Cute Charm is a fairly disruptive idea, that if they are throwing out a physical move against you, most likely it's going to make contact, and if you're a female, they have a chance of getting infatuated if they're an opposite gender. Male Pokemon are generally more common, and if they make contact, it's going to be pretty much over, because you can throw a Confuse Ray on top of that, you can burn them, and then they really have no options from there. You can also run Marvel Scale. If you happen to get burned or toxic, you're just going to get more defenses from it, and you can still get some kind of setup. So Milotic is going to be a very long-term Pokemon that you can also run Toxic instead of Confuse Ray and still get a lot of strength from it. Also, some people, they have Haze as an option, and even Protect. That, Protect with the Leftovers might give you that extra boost into a Recover while they're just getting burned down from Scald. And that's mostly what's going to happen, that unless you're completely reliant on Scald, you either throw out a Toxic, or you just throw out Scald, and Burn is going to be most of the damage at the end of the turn. Haze is going to come in and eliminate anything that they try to do, so you can really just send in Milotic, and your opponent's day essentially ends unless they straight up one-shot you, because Recover is going to give you a lot of sustain and a lot of options. Other than that, people can use Rest Talk. That, remember Marvel Scale, if your status and your defense gets boost, that works with Sleep Talk. So you can just kind of open up with Toxic. If it's a Pokemon that's immune to Toxic, you can still Scald them, you can chip in some damage, and then you're just going to be asleep, not taking anything. Now you can go for a higher boost on your defense, or you can just go like a higher, more pure special defense tank. And from there, you're still not taking any damage. If you get close to being threatened, you just rest again, and then because of Sleep Talk, you have a chance of whiffing, maybe double toxicking or something. But other than that, you can still be incredibly frustrating on your opponent, and it's just one of those really gimmicky sets that if your opponent doesn't see coming, it might just completely stomp them out and just completely wall them. And I've seen this set wall before because of that Marvel Scale just giving it so many stats. And also, Milotic does get some good use in doubles. It's going to be bulky, it's just going to be in the way, and that kind of causes problems. You can also put Confuse Ray, so you're slowing your opponent's Pokemon. You're confusing them, so they might hit themselves. You're also throwing out some relatively strong attacks. Like 100 special attack isn't insane, but if you're not looking for one-hit KOs, it's more than enough. So that's where you also just have Recover, Protect, and then Scald or something like that, or the Ice, or the Confuse Ray, or whatever. So that's Milotic. It's going to wall out a lot of your opponent's team, that unless they carry that heavy super in the electric or grass, or they have absurd physical Pokemon, even then, like sometimes you can get lucky on an early Scald and really shut them down. Milotic is going to drag the battle out, so get ready for that if you use it. But other than that, it can remove a lot of your opponent's options, it can keep a lot of your options safe because it has so many resists against very popular Pokemon, and that's kind of all there is to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a nice day.